some of that we can get in the shaded area.
So I'm with Jim out here in another one of his gardens, and the sun is getting active out here, so we're going to go ahead and go through his gate there. Jim, you want to tell us what you're doing with this garden here?
This is I dubbed it, you can see in the concrete I built when I started this, our wild garden, built in 2009. This is it's semi-permaculture, but it's a combination garden, vineyard, and orchard. It's all under drip irrigation, but I think I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. We got so many projects that everything's a mess, but we do what we can on each of them. But with me, 72 and Starr 70, us trying to keep up with everything is just virtually impossible. That's why we're trying to recruit some intern help and teach them.
You could use a posse of helpers, huh?
Oh yeah, but like these are all insulated raised beds. That concrete's got foam inside of it, and they told me that you couldn't raise grapes in this north country in raised beds, and I said, well, all I have to be told is it won't work for me to try it. And these have just prospered for years. We had a tree go down on the fence, but you can kind of see some of the grapes here. I mean, it's not as full this year, but it's
you got some in your hand right there.
Yeah, it's just loaded with. These are Concords. This is 120 feet long.
Okay.
And there's Concord grapes on both ends, and in the center there's probably about a 30-foot section of currants.
All right.
Now, this is a 4-foot wide bed here, and I put those pipes up years ago and hanging those buckets up there where you could grow like a pepper plant out the top and a tomato plant out the bottom. And then I had drip lines dripping water in them. It's just too much for us to keep up with. But this is for veggies here. I'm switching this over this year. I just dumped a bunch of rocks and dirt on this bed. I don't ever try, used to get all the rocks out. I leave them now because that helps retain heat, like a little microclimate, extending the growing season a little. And so the plan is next year, that's soil with rocks mixed in it, and pine bark compost and manure compost. So I'll put that in all of those. Hopefully next year I'm going to have more time on it. This row here, it's about 110, 115 feet long. Raspberries most of the way, and then blackberries, this last third of it down there. It's been a prolific producer. That's the nice thing. We're trying to get switched over as much as possible to all the perennial plants that we can grow in here. And then this is another 4-foot wide insulated raised bed. You can see the drip irrigation lines. This is loaded with potatoes. All the potato plants have died off. I didn't get enough water. I didn't realize it wasn't running, and those died, but it's loaded with potatoes in here. We're just leaving them for now. And there's 3 beds of potatoes. We got the water back on time for the next 2 beds. But it's amazing how many potatoes this thing produces. Along this fence, you can see we've just got a variety of broccolis, cabbage, different things. And on down here, we got a lot of tomato plants. These are cool. We get a lot of seeds from Baker Creek because they have great heirloom organic seeds. This is a black tomato. They're really
You got
cool
black
looking.
tomatoes?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're pretty neat.
Well, I have never even heard of those before.
Yeah, and they're quite tasty.
Wow.
You can see the big old fat blackberries right there on
Oh, yeah.
one of our blackberry bushes.
If I could just reach over there, I'd just have to eat one of those right now.
I can reach it for you.
Look at you go.
I want to make sure these are good and ripe.
Is that not cool? Look at the size of this guy here. That's one fine fat blackberry, man. I'm going to enjoy that.
Here, have another one. So, kind of transitions. This is still mainly raspberries, but then combo of raspberries, blackberries. But you can see we're just thick with tomatoes along here. This year we tried something new, and some of our plants from Russia, fava beans. They look like they're all done now. No, there's one. They are really loaded with nutrients. This is what they look like. You can just now. Usually there's several, but this is real tough. But if I'm gonna split this open here. See that bean inside there? That's real tender. I guess they're real high protein and tasty.
You want to try one?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
They just taste helpful. Starr cooks them up in different ways. They're so good when they're cooked up. Looks like most of them are done. And you see, I didn't get time to finish building up all these beds. I added some dirt. I was going to do it like kugel beds and put in some woody biomass. And I might still, if I can get some help. We got one guy supposed to arrive here today that's interested in being an intern here, and we'll try him out, give him a couple of weeks test and see, let him live out back here. And we hadn't had the greatest luck trying to get interns. People want to learn. Everybody talks a talk, but very few people walk the walk and are gung-ho in action like they are in talk. Now here's a monster for you.
It is. Let me even zoom in on that guy. What a heck of a blackberry, man.
Fixing to go down Elias's gullet.
Oh, you want me to eat that big one?
Yeah.
Eat it all at one time?
Yeah.
All right.
Starr just picked these 2 days ago. You can see it's just loaded with blackberries.
It really is. It really is.
And just like these tomatoes, like out front I was telling you about the indeterminates, how they just keep growing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that it's September, we got some growing up there. Well, there's a flower on top, so you know what?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let him stay there.
You got 2 flowers up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is how I do all these lights. Just weave them through the fence, and I'll give him an extra turn that way, turning sideways.
So this is what you call your wild garden.
Yeah. We had we got a bunch of peppers along here. I don't know if we got. Now see, this is where I put plants that are friends with each other together.
Mm-hmm. Here's a pepper right there.
Yep. A lot of those, I put the tag down. Well, that's. I've did everything fighting weeds. This thistle just, it's a formidable opponent. Um,
Well, yeah, they call it gardening out in Montana, right?
oh gosh, it's a constant battle. They were almost as tall as you on that bed we're standing on.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a rhizome type weed where if they're sticking up this high, they probably got 12 feet of lateral roots in the ground.